Angelo, Nancy, where you hiding?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. God bless everyone. I'm gonna start off by reading Psalm 121. Good morning again, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start off by reading Psalm 121, in the name of the Father, the Lord, and the Holy Spirit. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence comes my help? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
We open in the name of the Lord, the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, the living God. May God grant us peace and unity. May everything that does not belong to Him, that is evil, fly far away from each and every one of us in our community. May God continue to bless our first responders and our communities to the end of time, from this moment to His presence, to our children, to our seniors, and to everyone that we meet in our journey through life. We bless the food and everything that we intake. Let it be healthy to our bodies. In the blessed name of our Lord, we pray this. Amen.
Amen.
We are very fortunate that within the 45th precinct, we have an officer who is part of the ceremonial unit. And he is going to do the national anthem for us. So please welcome Officer Grant to do the national anthem. Officer Grant.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much, Officer Grant. That was beautiful. I'm going to ask Captain Soberall, our 4-5 commanding officer, to come on up and say a few words of welcome. You guys can all sit down and relax now.
All right, good morning, everybody. First, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming today. And weather's bad, it's raining, it's early, but it's such a great turnout, and it's great to see so many familiar faces and to see so many people that I've had such good relationships with. Sorry, excuse me. So I've been here for about a year and a half now, and I just want to say how much of an honor it's been to serve as the 45th Precinct Commanding Officer. Recently, there's been a lot of push about improving the relationship between the police and the community, And it's something I agree with strongly because I view myself as part of this community. I grew up, my mother grew up, is on Gun Hill Road, my father's on 138th Street, down in the South Bronx. I lived on Tremont and Randall was the first apartment I got with my then girlfriend, my now wife. I went to Bronx High School of Science and used to walk to school, you know, like that was my neighborhood. So to be able to police the same place where I grew up has been a great privilege and one of the things that I'm greatly thankful for in my personal life. When we think about public service, it's not just about policing. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm a cop and we do police work and you know, and on my mind we save people and we chase bad guys and we do all the things that we think of when we think about policing. But it's about being a leader for your own respective community, which could be like the neighborhood, but also the building you live in, the floor. And here, when I look out upon you guys, I see so many leaders of your own respective communities, whether it's the local merchant association, the building, the tenant association. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for all that you do to help improve the lives of your constituents, of our lives as police officers, and the entire neighborhood. I wanted to ask you guys to give yourselves a round of applause for all the work that you all do. Are we going right to the table? No. So I just want to introduce our Chief Philip Rivera. He's the commanding officer of Patrol Borough of Bronx.
Good morning. Thank you, Isaac. I don't know how I'm going to follow that up, but my name is Phil Rivera. I'm a son of the Bronx. I grew up on the West Coast, Marble Hill, Kingsbridge Avenue. This is a dream come true for a young cop who started his career in the 4-6 precinct to come back and now be the commanding officer of Patrol Borough Bronx. Thank you. Although I went to Brooklyn Tech, I wasn't smart enough to get into Bronx Science. But I had to troop the trains, you know, all the way down from Bronx into Brooklyn, and then back home again. And one of the things that really inspired me to become a police officer was, you know, hanging out in Brooklyn sometimes a little late with some friends, and then taking the trains back, and then, you know, wondering if, you know, crew gets on the train, you know, was my lunch money going to be taken? Was the T-square going to be taken out of my book bag? And then seeing that transit cop getting on the train and feeling that sense of relief. And that's what I think we need to focus on, you know. Police officers, when they respond to something, it should be that sense of relief. And sometimes it's not, and we recognize that. And that's the importance of making sure that we have the community with us every step of the way. I had an opportunity not so long ago to address our business community at where I think it was Westchester Square. Yeah, the bid meeting. But what was the location again? Bronx Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to some of the. Been going to a lot of meetings, but you know, we recognize the importance of our business community and everything that they bring to the table. Obviously, there's been a lot of focus on you know, crimes within, you know, some business districts and in those areas. And you know, one of the things that I loved about the Bronx growing up is we never really had to leave the Bronx. Everything was in the Bronx. But if our businesses flee the Bronx because of crime, because of quality of life conditions, you know, then what do our residents have in their backyard? You know, we don't want to send that business elsewhere. We don't need our communities going elsewhere. We need everything back here in the Bronx, and that's what one of our missions is to make sure that, you know, the quality of life, making sure that we're protecting our businesses, make sure that we're protecting our residents, so that this community in the Bronx, you know, can continue to thrive. Unfortunately, yesterday we lost an outstanding member of the business community. Well, actually, I attended his wake yesterday. Jim McQuaid from Scarlet Hill Funeral Home, and near and dear to our hearts in the NYPD because not only did they provide a lot of services for what is a troubling time for everyone when you lose a loved one, but they really helped out with our line of duty families as well. So I got a chance to speak to his family and express our condolences from the NYPD. And unfortunately, right after that, I had to go to probably one of the most difficult things I've had to do in my career, which was attend the vigil for young Kayara Tay, who was gunned down in the 4-1 precinct, and speak to her parents and offer our condolences and offer our promise that we're doing the best we can to bring those people to justice. But I just want to remind everyone that the Bronx is a large community, and unfortunately there's things that happen in some of our communities in the Bronx that necessarily don't happen in other neighborhoods. But we're all one big family, and that community is hurting right now. So whatever our larger Bronx community can do to express their condolences, express their regards, would certainly be appreciated. But I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. I'm sorry I really haven't gotten a chance to get around as much as I would have liked to. This is an awesome opportunity to meet everyone here, and I promise I'm not going to run out of here. I'll walk the tables and get a chance to meet everyone. But this is really a great celebration for the community and our officers who we're going to honor, and respect that partnership, because we certainly can't do it without you. So thank you so much.
As a precinct community council, we are totally apolitical. We don't endorse candidates. We don't let candidates come and speak at our meetings. We're very careful about not taking sides. We're here for the community, and the community should hear from everybody. But I gotta say, our next speaker, Senator Jamal Bailey, has been an amazing friend to the entire Bronx, to our community, and a real leader. So I'm going to ask Senator Jamal Bailey to come up and speak to you next.
Thank you, Bob. So you wonder why I brought this umbrella up. If you recognize these colors, you know what these colors mean. I'm sorry, Borough Chief. This is a Bronx Science umbrella. Captain Sobral and I actually were in high school together at the same time. So that tells you the value of what public education is. No disrespect to anybody else. My wife went to Catholic schools, so Catholic schools are great. Private schools, charter schools, as long as you're in a school, you're okay. But I just want to tell you that I'm public school proud, K through JD. So I'm Senator Jamal Bailey. I represent the 36th Senatorial District, and if you've been paying attention to what's happening with our lines, I don't know who I'm going to be representing until Friday, which is a perilous situation, but it doesn't compare to the peril that women and men in blue face every day. Right? I'm complaining about not knowing what I'm doing on the map when these women and men walk into a door not knowing what they're facing on the other side. And Precinct Council President Beater, I'm appreciative of you, Bob, because you understand that I really do care and appreciate and respect law enforcement. Now, if I'm just going to put it out there, if you read what I do as a legislator, and if you read the words criminal justice reform and you see my name, you may think different things. But if you haven't had a conversation with me, if you don't know that Officer Dave Bellin, the 4-7, is one of my favorite people in the community, if you don't know how much I appreciate the women and men in blue, you don't know me. But that's the reason why we have these things, so that we can get to know each other. So we can know each other as people, not just as policymakers, but most importantly as community residents. Because before I'm a state senator, my number one job, and I'm sorry for those residents of Co-op City, I love you, I love being your senator. But my number one job is Karina and Giada's dad. That's my number one job. And the job after that is being Mara's husband. Pat, don't tell her I said her after the girls. But if she was speaking, she would say me after the girls as well. My job is to make sure I'm doing everything I can to make sure public safety is there. And public safety is defined differently to different people. That's just a reality, right? We all define public safety differently depending on where we live. But the point that we have to find and hone in on is that we have to respect police officers. It's not a maybe, it's not a possibility. We have to respect the work that they do. Because quite frankly, if you're not an officer, raise your hand if you're not a member, if you've never been an officer. Raise your hand, just raise your hand, you know, just do it. Do you think you can do that job? Raise your hand if you're not a cop, you think you could do it. Okay, all right, super cop, all right, there we go. But the reality is that we can't do the job that you do. And so there has to be a level of appreciation and respect. And I just want to make sure I shout out Hannah and John and for all the work that they do in the community affairs offices. And it's not just like, it is not just policing. John sends me a text message, hey, I got a family that's dealing with an immigration matter. What can you do? Like, I want you to realize the breadth of what like the officers are doing. It's not just stopping crimes. It's really trying to help people advance in their lives. And these are things that you should know. I don't mean to tell tales out of school. I don't know if I'm gonna get you in trouble with that. I'm sorry, Isaac. I don't mean to get him in trouble, but he's trying to help people in the community well beyond just the role of just simple public safety. So I just want to let you know that I appreciate that. I appreciate you all. I look forward to continuing conversations. I hope that I still get to represent you all. We'll all know on Friday. I'm pretty sure the draft map still have me in co-op. If they don't, I'm gonna raise a word that I can't say in front of Bishop. No, but in all seriousness, I'm just grateful for you all. I'm sorry for speaking so long, but just I appreciate the time. And congratulations to all the amazing honorees and women and men in blue who keep us safe. Thank you.
Next up, we have our new council member. I hope she's gotten to all of your communities and that she's gotten to know you all by now. It's been long enough, I think, don't you? I think so. So I'm going to ask Council Member Marjorie Velasquez to come up next.
Good morning, everyone. Can we do a little better than that? And I know it's very early, so let's try this one more time. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Hi, good morning. I'm Marjorie Velasquez. I am the new councilwoman for the district. And I want to take a moment out to not just thank everyone that has shown up, but those that show up for us when we don't see them. Those that do the job that is often thankless. Those that put their lives on the line and their families worry for them every single day. And so to you, NYPD, thank you. We see you, we appreciate you, and we're honoring you. Also, to the honorees, I've worked with practically all of you in this community. This is indeed an honor. So congrats to you all for committing yourselves and dedicating yourself to building each other up, right? Oftentimes, and in this world and this climate, people want to see us divided. We gotta step it up, y'all. We gotta make sure that we show what community looks like. It's sticking up for each other in the good times and the bad. And I know I have a lot of great friends here who have stuck up for me. And it's continuing the work when no one wants to see you doing the work. It's believing in each other. And it is bothering John, Will, Hannah, all the time, like I do, every single day. But it's building those relationships, and those relationships is what keeps our community going. I'm proud to represent you all here in District 13, and more importantly, I'm proud to keep on the mission of serving together. And that's what we're gonna do. So thanks again, everyone, for showing up. Congrats, honorees, and thank you.
Okay, we've just had join us our newly elected borough president. I'm very excited to introduce Vanessa Williams, borough president of the Bronx.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much to each of you for being here. Thank you to our council president, to our borough leadership, to Chief Phil Rivera. It's good to see you, and to our chiefs and captain. commanding officer of the 4-5 precinct, my colleagues in government who are here, and all of our important stakeholders that care so much about the future of our great borough. I am honored to join all of you in this new capacity as your Bronx Borough President. It's been 5 months, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to serve in elected office for such a time as this. And many of you know my work prior to serving at Borough Hall. I was a member of the New York City Council for 8 years, and prior to that I served as a member of the New York State Assembly for 4 years. And I give a lot of credit for my political career to a mentor and a mother and someone who groomed me and truly planted a seed that is your borough president today, and that is the late, great Aurelia Green. And Aurelia Green, for me, meant so much, and all of you worked with her during her over 30 years of serving this great borough. And unfortunately, she transitioned last May. But I always love to acknowledge and give credit where it is due, because I didn't get here to this space by myself. And as Aurelia Green climbed the ladder in her political career, she lifted me along with her. And now as the new borough president, as a role model, as someone who makes sure that every young person has access and opportunity, it is truly my honor to lift as I climb as well. And beginning this year, we are living in some challenging times. It has only been 5 months of this new year and 2 years that we have been dealing with COVID-19 and the devastating impacts that it has had on this borough, this city, and this state. And we truly realize that life is so short and no one is guaranteed tomorrow. So it is up to all of us to not only honor those who have gone on and succumbed to COVID-19, but it is truly our collective work and our responsibility to make this borough better, to continue the great work that many before us have started. And it is not easy. Chief Rivera talked to you about some of the things that we have been experiencing here in the Bronx. I have seen Chief Rivera and talked to the captain and seen many of our leaders at Patrol Borough Bronx, more than I ever imagined. And unfortunately, it's been at the scene of violent crime. But I am reminded that through all pain, we can truly find purpose. I am reminded that in the middle of a storm, we can find strength. All hope is not lost. There are too many good, hard-working Bronxites, homeowners, property owners, business owners, entrepreneurs, clergy and faith leaders, those of you that run non-for-profits, those of you that represent the private sector, our municipal workers, everyone that has a title and a responsibility here in this borough. We have got to do better. We have got to demand more, not just of ourselves, but all of our elected officials, and holding me accountable as well. We want to make sure that our children and our families and our elders are safe as they travel in this borough. We have a fundamental right to be safe, and we know that we have to work with our partners in the NYPD, the men and women that wake up every day to serve, and all they want to do is make a difference and return home the same way they left, just like all of us. We want to return home the same way that we left. There should be no difference, whether you are uniform or civilian. And so I appeal to all of you that even though we are facing these challenges, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the victory line, and I will not give up. I refuse to give up, because the next generation of leaders needs us. We are their role models. We have to be a source of encouragement and a source of support for that next generation of leaders. And I will share with you the amazing things that are happening right here in the Bronx. But oftentimes you don't hear those stories of the officers that save lives every day, that helps someone that may be suicidal, from community affairs to the DV unit, to the YCOs, to all of the officers that serve in the 4-5 precinct. Thank you. It has not been an easy time, but it is up to all of us to demonstrate our support, not just with words, but with actions. Walking this journey with the men and women of the NYPD and realizing that we all are a part of the solution and we all have a purpose. So I join with all of you this morning in congratulating all of our honorees who we are recognizing on this day. We are so grateful for your service. We are grateful that you have never given up. And most importantly, we are grateful for your labor of love and your investment, and at the end of the day, recognizing all the great potential that we have here in the great borough of the Bronx. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to walking with you on this journey, because at the end of the day, the next generation of leaders are destined for great success. And it is up to all of us to make their future better than ours has been. So thank you to our chair, thank you to the executive board, thank you to all the members of this community in the 4-5, whether you are from Co-op, Throgs Neck, the East Bronx, no matter where you live, work, and own your business, you are a part of the fabric of this community, and we appreciate you and say thank you very much.
We have one more speaker who's joined us, Chief Green, who is our captain, our chief. He's moved around, he's moved up. You want to say just a few words at least, you know, and welcome back to the 4-5.
Hey, Bob, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Just want to say I'm really excited to be here, happy to be here. I see a lot of good friends, Tom, Annie Bowler, Michelle, John Doyle. A great, really great, tremendous community. I was a commanding officer in 2010 to 2012, Anne Marie Morrison. Really just great people and great friends, and it really set me up on a great track to be successful. And I just wish everyone the best, and it's great to see everybody here today. And thank you to the 4-5, and thank you to Isaac and for what they do for you. It's just great to be back home. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I want to just say, you know, this breakfast couldn't happen without the support of our many, many sponsors that we have this year. So I just want to read off the list. You all have them in your program, but we have gold sponsorships from Colonial Management Associates and Riverbay Corporation. We have silver sponsorships from Havana Cafe, the Hutch Metro Center, Sisto Funeral Home, Metro Optics, McDermott's Pub, Schuyler Hill Funeral Home, Westchester Square Plumbing Supply, Westchester Square Bid, Automatic Heating Supply, Pelham Bay Home Center, and Trump Golf Links. We have bronze sponsorships from Frank B. Stores, Paul's Police Uniforms and Equipment, City Island Chamber of Commerce, Lobster House, Tony's Pier, Sunoco on City Island, Seashore Restaurant, JLP Management, Paint, Puff, and Peace. They barely got their doors open, but they couldn't wait to support us. Tremaine O'Garo, Stephen Kaufman Esquire, National Diner, Spanish American Club, Bronx Taxman, Assemblyman Michael Benedetto, and Councilwoman Marjorie Velasquez. These folks all made financial donations to make this possible. You know, the $20 for the ticket is barely, doesn't even come close to touching the expense of today. So it's really the sponsors that make this possible, and I'm so grateful to all of them. Because, you know, when we say we're a community, the 45th Precinct Community Council, they all want to support this community. And it really is a wonderful feeling. When you go out and you say that, you know, you're from the 4-5 Community Council, what can we do is the immediate response. So I thank my board for going out and pounding the pavement and getting people out there. And my board members, of course, are John Doyle, who's my vice president, Annie Bowler, our treasurer, Sonia Feliciano, our our secretary, Yvonne Smith Burrows, who couldn't make it today, recording secretary, and Michelle Torioni, who is our sergeant at arms. I have a great board that backs me up, and they're really a fantastic help to me. So I couldn't be happier. Thank you all so much. So with that, we're going to move on to our presentations. And our first presentation is going to be to Arlene Gower. I'm going to ask John Doyle to come up and do that one. Yvonne wasn't feeling well, so John's going to come up and fill in for Yvonne. And any of the elected officials or their representatives who have certificates for Arlene, you can bring them up here and stand behind John, and you give those out as soon as John's done.
Thank you, Bob. And because he won't do it himself, Bob has been a force of nature to get all these donations and everything else. So let's give Bob a round of applause. As someone who's been on the receiving end of all the phone calls, and many of them, he's been working very hard to get this done. And congratulations, of course, to all the honorees. So our first honoree is Arlene Rowler, right? Rowler, sorry, who is right next to me right now. Arlene was born and raised in this neighborhood. She actually is a graduate of St. Helena School. She went to Marymount College and was able to go to Marymount College, by the way, I appreciate you writing this bio, holding down a full-time job in 4 years. So consequently, as she put it herself, she's become a proficient at multitasking. I would say that too. She worked for 23 years at the MTA. And after that, she came back and put her skills to work for the community in Country Club Civic. She was the vice president, then became the president. And she applied, again, the work she learned in the agency, she applied to trying to make our community better. And I get to know Arlene because we worked together on a lot of the traffic issues in our neighborhood for a couple of years back. And I will say that Arlene had a lot of foresight. She saw a lot of these problems before they became the mess they became today. And she brought her professional skills to bear to try to address these problems. Not many of us would read a 500-page environmental impact assessment, but Arlene did and would. So credit to those who go out of the way to do such things. Arlene is a stickler for details, and that is not a bad thing. I don't say it in a bad way. She reads proficiently and reads about issues in other neighborhoods and how they can apply what we learn and what's going on in other neighborhoods back here. So, you know, when something was going on in Queens with traffic, or Brooklyn with traffic, or Staten Island with traffic, Arlene would find it and send it to all of us to say, why not here? Why can't we get this? And that's a really good skill to have, and it shows commitment, it shows time, it shows intelligence, it shows dedication, which are all good qualities that we all know Arlene has. And, you know, as good things start to come down to bear on some of our traffic problems here, you know, these problems weren't started in a day, so they're not going to be fixed in a day. But a lot of work went in behind the scenes, and Arlene had fingerprints in a lot of that. I'm recalling now a meeting in Congressman Crowley's office where Arlene started rattling off statistics and traffic counts of different parts of the Hutch Metro Center and Westchester Square Station. And I remember the congressman at the time kind of being very impressed and going, they should just put you in charge of solving the problem. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. But Arlene has done a lot of tremendous work in the neighborhood and definitely left it in a better place than when she found it. So without further ado, we're going to award Arlene, one of our honorees. Thank you, Arlene, for your service to the community. It's very, very admirable. Here you go.
Gee, I didn't know I was so good. Thank you, John. My very first thought when I was invited to the ceremony today, the 45th Precinct Council, is basically what I've been saying for 20 years. To all of the police officers here, you ran in when we ran out. Thank you so much for all that you do and you continue to do, and how it affects your lives personally. Thank you for giving all of that to us. It's appreciated. Basically, I think John just said everything that I could have possibly said about myself, and he said it so eloquently. But thank you very much. I can only say that service, whether paid or as a volunteer, is really rewarding because you help people. And there's nothing better and more satisfying is to be able to see people smile when something is actually accomplished. So traffic will be accomplished in the next 20 or 30 years. But public service, private service, individual service, that's what it's all about. Thank you.
It takes a while to get everyone's good sides.
Go right into the next one from Beverly Jones.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, I got called up here to do a second one. This is the honoree from City Island. Beverly Jones is not only the Senior Vice President and Chief Legal Officer of the ASPCA, but she's also been somebody who's been very involved over the years in a lot of the good things that are going on City Island. And she's lent her professional career to not only advancing kind of animal rights and welfare, she's been involved in a lot of good government efforts. She's also been involved in a lot of LGBTQ efforts over the years through the Human Rights Campaign. She's a graduate of Smith College, Yale Law School, and Villanova University, schools that I know I could have never gotten into, so thank you, Beverly. She's also she's moved to City Island about 10 years ago, and she's been in that period of time involved in the creation of 9 different non-for-profit groups, including, by the way, this group. So we honor a lot of people for their service to the community, but there are even fewer every year, Beverly, I want you to know, that we can say we're honoring because of their service to the Precinct Council. And Beverly was instrumental in getting us our non-profit status, and did it totally pro bono. So Beverly, as I just read, is a very accomplished lawyer. Goes by a very high hourly rate that we didn't have to pay. So I'm appreciative of that, and all of you should be appreciative of it, particularly our sponsors, because if you claim this on your tax returns, the ability for you to do that is because of Beverly, so thank you, Beverly, for that. Beverly is on the board of both the City Island Gateway project and on City Island Rising, and she has one of the toughest jobs on the Rising board. She either has to tell all of us with our good ideas, can't do it that way, or here's a way to do it where you're not going to get in trouble. And that's not easy to do with 7 or 8 different people here. She's been a volunteer in starting our walking group. She was a pioneer in a lot of our census efforts, which includes my personal favorite and our phone banks for the census. But my personal favorite remains one day as we were tabling outside of the supermarket, and I believe it even started to rain. One woman wasn't going to fill out her census form because she was busy and had to go home. Beverly walked with this woman home with her groceries and got all of her census information. 7 people in that family. So when you think about it, we only lost a congressional seat due to about 80-something people. So Beverly, if we had about 100 more of you, we might have been able to preserve that congressional seat, and it saved a lot of us a lot of aggravation over the years. She's also been involved in a lot of the PTA functions for PS 175, helping to augment the fundraising for that so we can get good things for our kids there. Beverly, like Arlene, is a stickler for details, which is not a bad thing. Because if there's a scam call going around the neighborhood, you all know, usually it's, oh, I got a scam call. Well, where did you get it from? I don't remember. Who was it? I don't really remember. What were they trying to sell you? I'm not really sure. It was something about this. Not Beverly. With Beverly, you get the number, you get a transcript of the call, you get her inflections on whether this was an older man, younger woman, what's ever going on. She's a stickler for details, and we really couldn't have gotten a lot of the good environmental work we do with City Island Rising off of the ground if it wasn't for Beverly Jones. I know that for sure. So without further ado, Beverly, come on up here and receive your...
Thank you. Put this down. So as John said, my husband and I were living in Williamsburg, kind of transient. It was getting real crowded. We had just had a baby. We have 3 dogs, which is kind of an occupational hazard when you work at the ASPCA. And so we decided we wanted to buy a house. My husband is a lifelong New Yorker and fellow Bronx Science graduate. I got to get him one of those umbrellas. So we knew that wherever we decided to buy a home, it would be in New York City. So we were looking for a property we could afford, and even more importantly, a community where we could really put down roots and be active and make a difference. I grew up in Eastern Washington State, and as a little kid was going to city council meetings because even when I was a little kid, my parents had taught me how important it is to be involved in what's going on in your community. As John mentioned, I have spent a lifetime working for nonprofit organizations and believe that the nonprofit sector is a really great way to get things accomplished. I thought my skills might come in handy, and so shortly after I moved to City Island, I met John Doyle, and I said, I'm a nonprofit lawyer, is there anything I can do to help? And John Doyle, being no dummy, said, oh yeah, there's a few things, I got a list. We immediately connected on securing 501c3 status for the 45th Precinct Community Council. At this point, I've either formed or sought tax exemption for or advised on governance or all of those things for at least 7 nonprofits, and I've got 2 in the hopper where folks have said, hey, I heard that you have skills. All of this makes the community better and stronger, and helps us do the work in the right way. So thank you so much to the Community Council, and thank you so much for the honor.
Okay, Michelle Torioni is up next. For Tommy Messina.
Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to speak on behalf of Thomas Messina. So, Tommy is very active in his community where he has supplied his electrical skills on many projects, such as the Throgs Next annual Halloween parade, the holiday lights for Veterans Park, Christmas tree lightings, Santa Claus picture trailer, and many other community events. In 1987, when the moving law came to Throgs Neck, Tom was there 7 nights in a row to make sure the lights shined on the memorial 24/7. Tommy is still very active in the annual New York City Labor Day Parade, an organization he has been active in for the past 36 years. Tommy has worked for 23 years as the district representative for 2 members of Congress, the late Honorable Thomas Manton and his successor, the Honorable Joseph Crowley, chairman of the Democratic Caucus and Queens County Democratic leader, and prior council member Honorable Mark Jonai for 1 year in 2020. Tommy also has been elected numerous times, so he's not, noticed to, getting awards. As a judicial delegate to the Judicial Convention for Bronx County for over 20 years. He has been honored by several elected officials and organizations, accepting awards from the Bronx Borough President Freddie Farrar for his dedication to community service in 2000, Bronx County leader Roberto Ramirez in 1995. In 2004, Tommy was appointed to the first installation of Community Education Council by Borough President Adolfo Corona. In 2002, Tom was given the Spirit Award from the Chippewa Democratic Club. And in 2016, Congressman Joe Crowley presented Tom with a plaque for his over 20 years of service to the House of Representatives. Currently, Tommy is state committeeman for the 82nd AD and vice chair of the Bronx County Democratic Party. Tommy has been married to his lovely wife, Susan, for 49 years. They are proud parents to Dina Marie, Dana, Tommy Jr., Christopher, and Matthew, as well as their son-in-law, Bernie, daughters-in-law, Desiree and Danielle. They are also proud grandparents to Evan, Gianna, Victoria, Ava, Xavier, Zara, and Gio. How does he have time to do anything else? Tommy, please come up and accept your award.
Thank you. Boy, I didn't know I'd do that. Well, let me first start off by saying good morning to everybody. And I would like to start off by congratulating all our other, not fellow honorees, lady honorees. Okay, I noticed when I'm looking at this, I said, wow, I'm the only male here. So they're to believe one of two things. They ran out of women, or the other men said no. No, I am completely humbled by this award. I really am. Believe it, I'm kidding here for a second. I really was. I'm humbled by this award and by let me always love to help people. I always love to help people. My parents instilled in me that you want to do something because you want to do it and not because you have an ulterior motive. And I'm dropping things, and don't worry about that. I'd like to thank Bobby and his board for honoring me, Chief Rivera and Chief Green. Boy, I remember those days with you, Connie. I said, I knew you were going to go places. And Captain Silver, you're probably going to end up in the same spot where they are. I also would like to say my volunteers of service, I did it because I love to help people. I always did, I always will. And worked for Tom Manton, Joe Crowley, and Mark Jonai was the honor of my life. These were 3 very, very incredible elected officials. And I'm trying to figure out something here, but I'll be with you in a minute, The best part of this is the people I met in my 23 years with elected people, but my 37 years in the community. I've met some great people, and a lot of them became my personal friends, and I'm really honored for that. And to all the community affairs officers that I worked with, Mike O'Connor, is Anne-Marie here? Anne-Marie Morrison, some great times, Dan Carter, and last but not least, John Sherrata and Hannah Ryan Rivera. Let's give the police department, I'm up here stuttering because I'm really taken back by the police. And for those who want to defund the police, think again. I know, God forbid you're in trouble, where are you going to go? I want to personally thank every policeman in the 4-5, but in the country. And defund the police should not be in our vocabulary. It should not be in our vocabulary. You know what? We'll take the extra police and bring them over here, right? We'll bring them into the 4-5. We can always use them. Yeah, we love the police. So I want to personally thank each and every one of them. And God bless America. God bless the 4-5, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Excuse me, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to my bride, my soulmate, the love of my life. I love you, Susan, so much. Stand up, Susan. Come on. And to my daughter, Dina, my sister, Donna, my cousin, Frank, Denise, and Jackie, and my son-in-law, Bernie. Thank you for coming here. I know you made a big trip. My daughter came over from exit 62. So thank you for being here. I love you all. I love all of you. Thank you.
Okay, so next up, I have the honor, I'm going to grab her trophy here. I have the honor of presenting to Yasmin. Yasmin Cruz, who is our bid director at Westchester Square. A lifelong Bronx resident, Executive Director of the Westchester Square Business Improvement District. She continues to uphold the mission of the bid, focusing her efforts on maintaining a clean, safe district while promoting and marketing the area's diverse businesses and cultural offerings. Her passion has always been to help the community, and with this role, she's been able to collaborate with each of the partnering agencies that support the bid work in the district. Now, the Westchester Square Business Improvement District is very near and dear to my heart because I was there when they started the Merchants Association, when they got a hold of the bid. We had Lisa in the past, and now we have the amazing Yasmin Cruz. Yasmin has picked up the baton. She's makes sure that everything runs smoothly there. She's guided the merchants through the last 2 years nightmare that we have all lived through. And she was out there making sure that everybody had what they needed. Lehman High School's always been a problem. We have issues there, but Yasmin, again, is always there to make sure she's working with our 4-5 precinct officers to keep the peace, to make sure that everybody is safe and happy when they're shopping Westchester Square. But she, as she said, is really devoted to the community, not just the merchants. And as such, she runs these events and works with us. We ran Pizza with a Cop there. We'll be doing others. And whenever you go to Yasmin and say, we want something, she's like, okay, how do we make it happen? National Night Out Against Crime was a huge success under Yasmin. She did an amazing job for us, brought out amazing people to be at the event, and I can't thank her enough for the work she's doing in Westchester Square. My company name is Westchester Square Plumbing Supply. We have a history there that goes back to 1924, actually. So again, Westchester Square is very near and dear to my heart. And to see Yasmin standing there every day, making sure that the job is done right, that everybody is safe and happy and healthy, and that the community is thrilled when they walk through the Westchester Square stores. You know, it really is a tribute to her. And I know she works hand in hand with the 4-5. Anything that happens, she's there, she's on the phone, she's making sure that everybody is happy. And it's a Herculean task, you know, when you have so many merchants there trying to keep everybody happy, and the community with their complaints. And then we have the park there, Owen Dolan Center, which I'm hoping Parks Department, when we get our new commissioner, will partner with the Westchester Square Bid and Yasmin, because we need that private partnership, that private-public partnership, to make sure that we have more events there and utilize that facility. I think they're just about done with the construction there, so as soon as we get a new commissioner, that's going to be one of our top priorities, is making sure that Yasmin has a connection there so that we can get even more activity at Westchester Square, because these positive activities is what keeps community coming back and keeps community strong. So I want to thank Yasmin Cruz, ask her to come up and accept this award.
Thank you to the 45th Precinct Council for this recognition. Congratulations to my fellow honorees. What I do on a daily basis wouldn't be possible without my friends and family who are surrounding me today. Thank you to my chairman, John Benizio, for giving me the opportunity to work in this community. To my family and friends that have become family, Harry, Sasha, Leanna, Melissa, I'm not sure how it would work on a day-to-day basis without all of you. Thank you to Captain Cedillo, who continues supporting me with his talented police van La Jara and giving back to the community as a volunteer during Christmas. It does not go unnoticed, so thank you. Former Commissioner Ramos, I know you're there somewhere. Thank you for your continuous support. And to my wonderful family here at the 45th, because it is truly a family, not only because on a day-to-day basis I'm on the phone with them. Will, Officer Sanchez, thank you for receiving my calls even on days off. He will always respond, so completely grateful for that. To Officer Hannah Rivera and Detective Serrata, again, I'm not sure how I would do my job without the assistance. And again, I want to, last but not least, the incredible CO, Officer Soberan, not officer, I'm sorry, Commanding Officer Soberan. Thank you for everything you do, and again, taking my phone calls at random times, but it helps, and I appreciate everything we do. I believe that only together as a team is how we can continue improving the safety as well as a community engagement. So thank you again.
All right, get in the middle there. All right.
I got you.
Before we go on to our next award, I'm just going to take a little break for 2 minutes because I want to acknowledge some of the organizations and some of the groups that came out You know, we have the Chippewa Democratic Club, who has supported us year after year. The Eleanor Roosevelt Democratic Club, who has also been a great supporter year after year. The Spanish American Club is here. We have from Joe Romo's the Westchester Square Cultural Islamic Center, who are new members, new to us here, and new to our community, and we're so thrilled to have them join us. And again, the folks of the Islamic community that have come out to join us for the first time, we hope it will be a regular event, and we'll look forward to seeing you at our meetings. We have from our elected officials representatives, Miriam Tirado from Senator Sepulveda's office. We have Christina Calhoun from the Bronx District Attorney's office. We have the NAACP here. Again, one that supports us year after year after year. The retirees of Dreiser Loop, again, great group and co-op. Frogs Neck homeowners, Lynn Javito is always the first one to say, what can I do? We have the Frogs Neck Merchants Association with Cheryl Proper. We have the Fab Five, who are going to be 5 women elected to be judges. So, you know, we have great police officers, but we need great judges to help support those officers. 3 of the Fab Five actually come from Community Board 10 from this area here, and I'm so proud to have served with them on the community board, and I know they'll be amazing judges. So Taisha Chambers, Cynthia Ayalis, Michelle Davila, Sophia Hirschman, Yadira Gonzalez-Taylor, best of luck to you on the bench. We really look forward to seeing you there. And we have with us from the mayor's office, Alina Dow, who is our Bronx liaison for Mayor Adams. Marisol Hoffman is here also with the borough president, who again has been with us. I think every year we've had this, Marisol's been around. Where are you? You've been here every year, haven't you? So Marisol's been an institution at the borough president's office and a real leader in our community. You also do a lot of community work, I know, besides what you do for a living, and you're always appreciated. And also we have Jamal Watt from Councilman Kevin Riley's office here. Hide him behind me. There we go, thank you. So with that, we're gonna move forward. And next up in our program, I'm gonna ask Annie Bowler to come up and do a presentation to Josephine Finelli.
Josephine Finelli was born and raised within the confines of the 45th Precinct in the Bronx. Josephine still resides in Country Club with her husband and children. Josephine attended Our Lady of Assumption School, St. Catherine Academy, St. John's University, and Mercy College. Josephine began her teaching career in 1986 at St. Raymond Elementary School. She has always taught in the Bronx. In 1999, she began to teach at Our Lady of Assumption, and then in 2007 became principal of St. Teresa School. During her time at St. Teresa School, she has supported the Pelham Bay Taxpayers Association and the local politicians and the 45th Precinct. She has worked to get a stop sign placed at the corner of St. Teresa Avenue and Pilgrim Avenue. She continues to work on making the area around St. Teresa School safe for the students and residents. The St. Teresa community has become her family. There have been many improvements to the school since she began there. St. Teresa School was the first school in the area to offer free universal pre-K to the residents of Pelham Bay. St. Teresa is still going strong, and Mrs. Finelli plans on continuing to guide the school to greater success. Josephine is humble and thankful to the 45th Precinct Council for this award. She is grateful to her family, friends, Father Derevin, and the St. Teresa community for their continued support.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm very humbled to be honored by the 45th Precinct Council. When Annie called me, she said, well, you know, you're going to be honored. I said, again? She goes, no, that was 2 years ago. We never got to it. We never had the ceremony. And I said, there's no need to honor me. I do what I do for our families of St. Teresa and for the community of Pelham Bay because I'm a member of the community. It's my home. My family jokes that I've never worked more than 8 minutes away from my house. So I don't know what it is to go to work in traffic. I have no idea. I love the Bronx and I love being part of the Pelham Bay community. I am so grateful to the 45th Precinct. Whenever I call with my crazy calls, they show up right away and they're always there to calm me down and help us do whatever our situation may be. So I'm very grateful to them. I hope that now that we're almost back to normal, we could have them come back into our school building and be a part of our community. I'm grateful to the Community Board 10. They always listen to my phone calls and my complaints, and they always are there to help and assist us as well. I'm grateful to my friends, my coworkers who I consider my family, my friends who are my family, my husband, my kids. We love living here in the Bronx, and we want to keep it strong, and anything that we can do to help continue this wonderful borough being what it is, we will do. I'm very grateful, and thank you very much. I'm not used to being in
Okay, we have one more presentation before we move on to the officers. So Sonia Feliciano is going to come up and do the award for Leah Richardson.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here and to see so many familiar faces. Leah Richardson comes with an extensive resume of accomplishments. She's a board director for the River Bay Board for the past 5 years, while maintaining a full-time job as a network engineer for the Kings County Supreme Court in Brooklyn. She holds a master's degree in public administration. She is often called upon for her knowledge of technology, program development, and technical training support to management, judicial, and non-judicial staff. A driven and passionate community advocate who builds alliances with everyone, Leah works on issues that affect the quality of life for the residents of Co-op City. Leah's professional and volunteer activities are too many to count, but I have highlighted some accomplishments in her community service. For example, she has provided exceptional support for her community by establishing a youth civic engagement program, CLAY. It's Cooperative Leadership Action Among Youth. The program helps students understand the public policy so the youth can create change in their community and become leaders. We also have to remember that our youth are our legacy of our future. Leah coordinated Teen Summit for Co-op City Youths. The program consists of 6 workshops for teens and 1 parent workshop with a professional presenter, a youth facilitator, a family court judge. This set the stage to prepare them to build self-esteem and learn about gang violence, healthy lifestyles, dating, and domestic violence. These life skills provide our children with tools for development, such as independent thinking, how to socialize, make new friends, and take action in situations when parents, teachers, or caregivers are not around to help. Leah is president of the Tribune Society of the Courts of the State of New York, vice president of the Co-op City Democratic Club, and serves in various organizations like the NAACP, the National Council of Negro Women, and is past president of her building association. Leah sits on the Unified Court System Equal Justice Committee for the School Judicial District, The committee ensures the fair and equal treatment of all court users using litigants, court staff, and the public. Leah has received numerous community service achievement awards and commendations, including the Role Model Award by David Dinkins. She's a graduate of the Citizens Police Academy and is held in high esteem by our elected officials, Senator Jamal Bailey, Assemblyman Michael Benedetto, Public Advocate Jamani Williams, Assembly Speaker Carl Hasty, former Congressman Elliot Ingle, and many groups that believe that Leah's connection to the community makes it a better place. Leah exemplifies leadership and dedication that are valued and appreciated by others. She promotes community education and positively advocates for community involvement. She is committed to protecting and improving the quality of life and keeping her community a place that we call home. Leah is passionate about traveling, so she does have some extracurricular activity. So she does travel, and she spends a lot of time with her first grandbaby, Kennedy. She has a favorite quote by Denzel Washington, who is an actor and activist, and it says, "At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about what you've lifted, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back." Leah?
Okay. Thank you so much, Sonia, for that great introduction. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And congratulations to all of the honorees. Oh boy. So thank you, Sonia, for having the generosity to nominate me and reading my extensive bio. I was one who didn't raise my hand because no, I could not be a police officer. Thank you to the 45th Precinct Community Council. I am truly honored and overwhelmed by gratitude to have been selected to receive the Community Service Award. I am thankful and grateful for this prestigious recognition. Although Sonia says that I have too many awards to name, however, this award is very special to me because it's from my community. It has been said that great leaders build their lives upon simple principles. With that being said, I accept and share this award on behalf of the dedicated work and outreach of the NYPD 45th Precinct and CCPD Co-op City Police Department, who does an outstanding job in keeping our community safe. I have faced several challenges on my way here, but each one of them has only strengthened me to make me the person I am today. A thorough professional who knows exactly what she wants, someone who sets her eyes on a goal and does not lose sight of it unless it is achieved. Winning this award would not have been possible without the inspiration I have received from my family, community, colleagues, from whom I have the deepest respect and from whom I have derived the strength to challenge myself and perform better at each stage. I see the importance of this gathering coming together to honor men and women in the community for their services, and I am so honored to be here. It is an even greater honor to be placed in such distinguished ranks as those of the past honorees, all of whom have made important contributions to life in our city and state, and of whom I consider being friends. There's just so much to say, but time prevails. I rejoice in this recognition. It tells me that I can carry on what I do and that people see, and this award whispers into my ear to keep fighting. Thank you once again to everyone who has had a hand in this. Special thanks goes to my family who supports me 100%, and to my work family at the Kings County Supreme Court criminal term. I also like to thank the River Bay Board of Directors and River Bay Corporation for your support, believing in me, and to the sponsors of making this event possible. Again, a special thanks to Sonia Feliciano for recognizing my talents, contributions, and to your continued support. I thank you. I would like to take a moment to also give my condolences to the families and the victims that were viciously attacked by a sick, depraved individual in Buffalo, New York. My heart is broken by these senseless acts of violence. What have I learned on this incredible journey? I can sum it up in 3 key points: accepting responsibility, embracing change, and respecting humanity. We are faced with a weakening economic, affordable housing, predatory lending, rising gas prices, global warming, homelessness, disastrous health issues, and gun violence are some of the major issues affecting our communities. Let us not remain silent in the wake of systemic racism, inequality, racial profiling, and aggressive policing in communities of color. My prayers are that we prevail. I am encouraging all of you to be vocal in your beliefs while remaining organized in a fight for equality. While we are getting closer to the primaries in June, more than ever, we must realize the importance of our vote. We must take our souls to the polls in record-breaking numbers to exercise our constitutional right to vote, and encourage those who have lost faith in this political process to let their voices also be heard. Vote for the candidate who you believe will best address the critical concerns and issues that directly affect our communities and the quality of our daily lives, regardless of gender or race. We can make a difference in the upcoming elections. Just vote. Finally, thanks again for the 45th Precinct Community Council for this wonderful, prestigious Community Service Award. Remember, we are stronger together. Thank you.
Slide to the right. That mic's in the way. One hop, one time. Right foot, left foot. Sorry.
Let's keep that pose.
Sorry, I was voting.
Hey, hold on. Got you?
Okay, I'm going to ask each of our community awardees to come on back up just so we can get a photo of a group shot from all our community awardees. Okay, well, stick around. We're gonna do all the community awardees as a group shot as well. So if the community awardees will all step right up, Yasmin, Arlene, Tom. Come on up, come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Our community awardees. We got one shot with all of our community awardees. We're all here, right? Great. We all good? All right, let's squeeze in. Let's all squeeze in.
No. I'm bigger than you two. There's no squeezing, my dude. What's up, brother? You always looking good. Yeah, I'm waiting for that six-pack right now.
Thank you all so much. Annie, why don't you just mention the candles? I'm going to ask my board of officers to come up next. Annie, John, Michelle, Yvonne, Sonia. We're not done, folks. We still have a lot more program. Please have a seat. Come on up front. Come on up front. Captain.
Hi, excuse me, everybody. Just want to make a quick acknowledgement. As you can see over here to the left, we have these lit candles. You know, last week was National Police Week. We light the candles as a symbol to the officers that have fallen in the line of duty. Unfortunately, the work is inherently dangerous, and sometimes officers do make that sacrifice. So we light this in remembrance of them, and I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you, Captain. We'll just take a moment of silence, and then we'll move on to the honoring of the officers. We're just going to take one moment of silence, folks. Thank you very much. With that, we're going to move on to the 45th Precinct honorees. You folks can have your seat, I guess. We're going to move on to the police honorees, which are going to be presented by Captain Soberall and the Chief Rivera. So here we go. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We also have a presentation from the mayor. Alina, you want to come up with your awards for the mayor as well for the officers? So you can have those as well.
So the first officer that we're going to acknowledge today, I just wanted, before I go into his bio, I just want to say something about him. And I think a lot of the people here can relate to what I'm about to say, like whether you're an elected official, you're a business leader, or you're a member of some other organization. One of the best things that someone can say about you is that you get things done. There's two types of people that get things done and people that don't get things done. Unfortunately, there's not very many people that get things done. So this next officer is Police Officer Wilfredo Sanchez. So, Will, I'm gonna read a bio about you, but you know, we'll mess something up for some other guys because Will's so good at getting things done that at one point I think that he was doing like 3 people's jobs. Which makes me say, like, well, if I got one guy doing 3 people's jobs, what are these guys doing normally? Maybe I don't need these guys at all, you know? Police Officer Wilfredo Sanchez, he's a 14-year veteran. He has over 181 arrests. He was hired in 2008 and assigned to the 4-4 right out of the academy. After a year of training, he was transferred to the 4-5. He's done many things in the 4-5, patrol, conditions, anti-crime, school unit, property, and now he is most recently added to the community affairs unit. He's well respected by his whole peer supervisors. And he also mentors some of the younger officers, gives them advice, much needed advice with the newest generation. He's got 4 kids. His 2 oldest sons has followed in his footsteps. They're also police officers with the NYPD. And Police Officer Sanchez, he shows tremendous passion for the NYPD and has greatly improved the lives of the residents of this community. And it's my honor to acknowledge him. The next officer that we're going to acknowledge is Police Officer Darren Sakinikov. Police Officer Sakinikov is a 6-year veteran. He's got 105 arrests, 60 of them being felony arrests. He was hired in 2016, assigned to the 4-5 right out of the academy. He's held many positions, including conditions, anti-crime, public safety, and most recently, he's been assigned as a field intelligence officer. So, one thing that I respect about Darren is I have a bad habit as a boss of just like dropping, like kind of just, I don't really give people preparation to answer a question. And I catch him off guard. I don't mean to do that. It's just on my mind. I see them and I'll be like, hey, Darren, what about this shooting? Or what about, have you seen it? Darren always has the answer. I can ask him the most obscure question and he just anticipates that he's got all the answers. He watched the video and I respect that about you. You live and breathe this stuff. And I respect that when I see that in someone. Next officer is Police Officer Xavier Marcus. Officer Marcus is a 7-year veteran of the NYPD. He's assigned to the 4-5 right at the academy. He spent 4 years on patrol before he moved to the traffic safety team. As part of the traffic safety team for the past 3 years, he's made numerous arrests addressing many community complaints, including drag racing, speeding, illegal parking, and stolen vehicles. So far this year, he's already recovered 4 stolen cars. So Officer Marcus is also an active member of the Army since 2014. And so Marcus is part of our traffic team. And usually a traffic team writes tickets. But Officer Marcus is constantly getting guns off the street, drugs off the street, stolen cars. Whenever I look at every day I look at my arrest and I see a nice arrest, I'm like, oh, who's the AO on this? Oftentimes, Marcus, this is not in the job description of a traffic officer to get guns off the street. So Marcus, tremendous respect for you and your work ethic. Great job, great job. So I did these out of order because I wanted to group these last individuals together. They're all members of my public safety team, my anti-crime guys, my gun guys that get guns off the street. So I'm a big believer in targeted enforcement. And these guys are the epitome of what it means is going after the baddest guys who are driving the violence in different neighborhoods, different communities. When I got to the 4-5 is, we don't have the crime we have crime, but we don't have the crime that other places have. But these guys are without a doubt up there with any crime team I've worked with, and I've worked in some heavy houses. I was in the gang unit in Brooklyn North, but all we did was go after guns. And these guys have all the respect that I can possibly give. They do a tremendous, tremendous job. And you see it. I mean, under the tutelage and the direction of Chief Rivera, I think this month we're down 44% in shooting incidents, 30 for the Bronx as a total. Crime overall is up. We bringing down shootings. And in the 45th precinct, we have 500% this month in gun arrests. These guys do a great job. So, most officers, you call the police, they pick up the job. If they're summoned to arrest, they arrest them, right? These are like the blue and whites. These are the patrol officers. These are like your jump out boys, your gun boys, the D's, whatever we call them. These guys specifically target violent offenders. Every day you go to work, when they kiss their families goodbye, they say, I'm gonna get some guns off the street. And there's something, I'm gonna sound like a nerd right now, but I did tell you I went to Bronx Science. There's a quote from Hemingway, and this is probably 80 years ago, but it goes something like, there's no hunting like the pursuit of armed men, and people who have done that for long enough and enjoyed it cannot enjoy anything else after. I know I butchered that quote, but my point is like these type of guys and this type of work, and women too, because there's women on our public safety teams, obviously. This has been around for centuries, and there's something in your bones that make you want to do it. There's something in your bones that say, I don't really want to take this 80 report, but that guy with the gun, I want to go stop that guy. So, first and foremost, we're going to acknowledge Officer Brendan Fennell. He's a 5-year veteran, over 160 arrests, 82 of them are felonies. He's assigned to the 4-5 right out of the police academy. He starts his career on patrol, where he covers Sector Boy, which is Westchester Square, Pelham Bay Country Club. He showed professionalism, integrity with the community his entire time that he's been with us. He has strong work ethics, so we put him on a public safety team. And since then, he's done a great job, numerous firearms arrests, narcotics arrests, and we couldn't be more proud of him. The next officer that we're going to acknowledge is Officer Justin Lopez. Officer Lopez, 5-year veteran in NYPD with over 100 arrests, in which 48 of them are violent felonies. Officer Lopez was hired in July of 2017, assigned to the 4-5 right out of the academy. He started his career off on patrol, where he was assigned to study Sector Charlie, which is Co-op City and City Island. While he was assigned to that sector, he did a great job engaging with the community and making numerous arrests. His hard work didn't go unnoticed, and Officer Lopez was asked to join the public safety team. He's a highly motivated officer that does his best to excel in all areas. During the short period of time that Officer Lopez has been a part of the public safety team, he has already effectively and swiftly removed multiple illegal firearms and narcotics off our streets, continuing to keep the community safe, and it's my honor to acknowledge Officer Lopez. The final officer that we're going to acknowledge today is Police Officer Juan Martinez. Juan is the old man of the group with 10 years on the job. He has over 200 arrests, and upon completion of the police academy, he was assigned to the 43rd Precinct. In 2013, he was transferred to the 45th Precinct. Throughout his time in patrol, Officer Martinez showed professionalism, integrity, and engaging with the community, while also maintaining vigilance and keeping the public safe. His strong work ethic did not go unnoticed, and we asked him to join the public safety team. While being in this unit, Officer Martinez has worked vigorously to keep our community safe by removing multiple illegal firearms and narcotics off the street, continuing to keep the community safe. And it's my honor to acknowledge Officer Martinez today.
Will each of the officers that received an award please come up for one group shot? Why don't you come all up here? We'll put 3 on one side and 3 on the other side, or in and out, you know, in and out. Thank you.
Double cheese. Where were you hiding, Amber? Beautiful. That's a great part.
Thank you all. So we made it through all the awards. We did that in record time. Thank you all for being so patient and so wonderful. I did just want to say, as on our program, you know, we have a logo. It says Bridging Police and Community Together. That's really what a community council is about. You know, we're here for the community, and we're here to hopefully strengthen the relationship between the police and the community. Our community council meets the first Thursday of every month. We move the locations around because we have such a large precinct. We go from Castle Hill to Co-op City with a lot of communities in between. So I hope that you'll all come out and join us. July and August we don't meet, but in June we will be back at the precinct. It's always the first Thursday of the month. It's always 7:30 in the evening. And any issues you may have, we want to hear them. The great thing about a community council is you get to address the commanding officer in a public forum. You know, sometimes you don't get the results you want to get by calling 311 or 911. But when you come out to a community council meeting, you get to address the commanding officer directly, and you get results. So I've always felt great about the fact that our community has a place to turn. And that's why I'm at the community council, because community people should have a place to turn. And the support of the community council here today is just a wonderful feeling. To have people from Co-op, to have people from Castle Hill, to have people from Throgs Neck and Pelham Bay and Country Club and City Island. You know, our community is very well represented in this room. And that to me is a wonderful feeling, one that I enjoy every time we do this. So I thank you all. I'm going to ask Captain to come up for any closing remarks, and then we'll have the benediction by Bishop Nancy and Angelo Rosario. Captain?
Finally, I just want to thank everybody for coming today. And while we're acknowledging the police today, it's really a celebration of all of us together as members of one community. We celebrate our differences a lot, but we also got to celebrate what we have in common to keep us together too. And I just want to say that as a precinct, we are dedicated to you. And I know as a precinct commander, that you guys are dedicated to us. And I thank God for that. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the officers. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Captain. If the bishops, Angelo and Nancy Rosario, come up, they'll give the final prayer. And we can all go and enjoy the rest of our day. These are two of my favorite people in the world.
Yes.
You know, I have to say, you know, they always have nice things to say about everybody else. But whenever a tragedy strikes anywhere in the world, you always find these two there. They're two of the people who are just the most giving, most loving, most wonderful people I've ever known. And I really consider it a real honor and a privilege to have them here with us. Thank you.
He wants to make me cry. That's what it is. You know, there's nothing greater than community. When you look at community, it looks like this. One human race that God has created. And if we work together, we are able to make changes. My prayer as we go home that we don't only pray for our officers, but we pray for their families. I have brothers that have retired from the force, and 59 years I've been doing this, and for 40 years I've been working with the police department trying to figure out how do we help our communities. I'm a little burdened today because of all the shooting, all the crime, and I have not found an answer for it yet. I've been doing this in the Bronx for so many years with gang leaders since 1959. In the South Bronx, standing in corners and praying for people of every race that they say, but there's only one race. When you die, you die. Whether you're black, white, or Puerto Rican, whether you speak a language or you don't. So today I'm asking the Lord to give us an answer to the hate, to the crime that's all around us. As these officers go out to try to help us, to try to get back home, it's difficult in a world full of greed, in a world filled of hate, in a world of religious biases. And until we come together as one people, believing that there's one creator that can make a change, and these religious wars also start to fall apart, knowing that we have one God that created us all in his image and likeness, there won't be a change. I don't want to lie to you today. I want to even sometimes resign and retire from war because as a religious leader for 59 years, I don't have an answer. And I watch children dying. Little girls, little boys, young men. And all we do is criticize one another. And talk about our police department when they're out there trying to do the best that they could. They're not perfect because pastors and priests and rabbis, we're not perfect either. There's only one perfect God that could help us all if he gives us the answer, if we come together with a true heart, one for another. I want you to go home today loving your neighbor. Loving your neighbor is knocking on somebody's door and trying to help somebody else's child. Don't criticize them, but I think we all have an answer to be able to make a difference. If you criticize your children and those that are doing wrong, they're not going to want to talk to you because they want to get away from you. But when we do love them and understand that we all sin, but we sin differently, and how we can help each other. I apologize for my conversation to you today, but it's because my heart is heavy today. And I pray that God may bless you, because if He blesses us all and blesses my grandchildren, and they be a blessing to your grandchildren, and that we will be a help one to another, we could make a difference and we could change it. Go in peace, and may the peace of God be with each and every one of us. God bless you.
Thank you all, folks. Have a wonderful rest of the day and a safe home.
Can I have the family of the officers come up here for some group photos, please?